My name's Tyler Gilbert, and I work for the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency. The reason this crisis briefing is being given is because an employee wrongfully sent a mass text to Hawaii residents of an imminent missile threat on January 13th, 2018. The agency used defeasibility and corrective action in the form of prevention. The corrective action should be beneficial to prevent this type of crisis in the future, but the defeasibility can be kind of um, a frustrating thing to use because the agency that people are frustrated with are saying it wasn't their fault. A state representative was the first to respond, saying that the missile scare was a mistake. I think it would have been best if the governor was the first to respond to this crisis. So my crisis briefing takes place on February 1st, 2018. The strategies used to correct this would be mortification and prevention. I believe mortification would be the best due to the apathetic audience. The apology will show the audience that the agency is accepting all of the blame for this and that they aren't passing it off to another person. I will now be starting my crisis brief. It has been a couple of weeks since the day of widespread panic and fear. I'm happy to announce that from this dreadful mistake that we all experienced, many new and improved policies and procedures have gone into place to ensure that nothing like this ever happens again. And that was from Vox.com. Let's start with the morning of the incident. It was Saturday morning to the office to wrap up a few things before me and my family went out on a hike. As soon as I entered the building, I immediately got a message on my phone stating that an imminent missile threat was coming and that everyone should take cover and hide and protect themselves and their family. The first thing that came to my mind was my family. Were they going to be okay? Was I going to be able to get back to them in time to take care of them? What is being done about this? What was done about this at the time? I imagine these were similar thoughts and feelings that other people had in the area around this time. They thought about their families and what was going to happen. We apologize for the fear and confusion that this incident caused. We hope that as we show action in correcting the system and the flaws in the system, and as we are working towards future prevention, we hope that the people of Hawaii can forgive us for these faults in our systems and for this scare that everyone experienced. When errors like this take place, corrective actions are implemented to ensure that something like this never happens again. When it was discovered that the event was a false alarm, the emergency alert system was the last to report it. And that's from CNN.com. Lawmakers and regulators have incorporated changes to wireless emergency alert services, according to Vox.com. One of the changes is a two-person authorization before messages like this are sent out. So before this message can be sent out, you do need two people to authorize it and go through and read it out loud to ensure that everything is correct, to prevent widespread panic like we experienced on January 13th. Are there other changes that can be made to prevent this in the future? If an employee has been a concern in a certain area before, and upon strike two, I feel that employee should be let go. Officials have stated that this employee has been terminated that caused this incident. This employee had been a source of concern for at least a decade in advance or previous. He had been known in the past to confuse drills with real-life events on a couple of occasions, according to Vox.com. Let's talk about who is to blame for this big mistake. Some have suggested that the blame should be placed all on the employee, the one that actually sent the message. I don't feel that this is a responsible way to handle this. It was the agency's choice to hire this employee, and there should have been sufficient training in order to there should have been enough training and instruction to prevent this type of situation from happening. The agency knew that this employee was an area of concern, and so with that knowledge, there should have been corrective action in the past, according to Vox.com. The agency could have safeguards in place to catch problem employees before they become a problem. This could be something like mental evaluations. They should be conducted regularly to ensure that employees have the mental ability to carry out their job. A psychological test could also be a regular occurrence, and that could be something that's done every year or two just to ensure employees are fit for the job. Now that I have covered the why and the how of this incident, let me conclude. Today we've discussed a few reasons why this missile crisis, why it occurred. Part of it was due to the lack of safeguards in place, and the other part of it was due to the employee not really being fit for the job. After listening to what has been done in response to the false alarm, we again ask for forgiveness of the people of Hawaii. This was a mistake that could have been prevented and will be prevented in the future. Thank you.